is Mark Bell from Super Training Gym in Sacramento, strongest gym in the West, with more great footage from supertraining.tv. This is week 3 of a dynamic effort squat workout with chains. We're using approximately 200 pounds of chains. There's 5 chains per side, so 100 pounds of chains per side. And on week 3, I tend to just kind of work up, handle a couple heavy sets. I think I did about 4 or 5 sets of 2 reps with some different weights, and then just got into the heavier stuff for a few singles. For me personally, I don't really do a lot of squatting on my max effort day, so I'll get my heavy training in usually on the dynamic effort day, or once in a while on the max effort day as well, but pretty few and far between. Mainly the max effort day is mainly for geared towards deadlifting and deadlift-like training, like good morning, Zerchers, deadlifts themselves, and variations of deadlifts. There's Austin Baumgarten going with about 405. It's Iron Wolf bar, so it's a little heavier than that. We'll just say it's 405 for argument's sake. Greg Buffington. We got a lot of good work in on this day. It took about 40 minutes or so to get all our sets in, but everyone got a lot of work in. You actually see the rack height was too high for me there, and I shouldered the weight out. Not a good idea with any weight that you use, but with a lighter weight, it's not going to be too big of a deal. In a contest, it could become a huge problem. So make sure you got the rack height just right for you. I'm trying to work a lot with Matt on his squat. He's a big guy. He's got some potential, but he's really struggled with his form for a while. So we're trying to really work hard at getting him up to speed and having him sit on the box and fire off the box the way you're supposed to. And he's getting better every week, so hopefully we can keep improving him. A pretty good set by Austin. Sometimes some of the guys have a tendency to just hop in with whatever I'm doing, and sometimes it works out great for them, and other times it ends in disaster, because sometimes what I'm using is just too hard or too heavy. But I've done that myself with other great lifters, even Chuck Vogelpool. You know, he's crushed my ass a couple times. AJ Roberts most recently, when I went out to Westside about a year ago, kicked my ass pretty good. Probably by about 150 pounds using the safety squat bar. So that was pretty embarrassing. Again, on the 3rd week, we're going to work up a little bit. A lot of these other guys, though, they're trying to stay in a little bit more manageable range, so they're staying with their weights that they had planned out for the day. Austin ended up getting in probably close to 10 sets or so with 4 plates on there. Greg Buffington got a lot of work in as well, and he also works up towards the end. He's got a little more weight on there already, actually. The dynamic effort squat workout, again, the main purpose of it is to work on your form and to work on your speed. If those things are lacking, then you have to make a decision on lowering the bar weight a little bit. Matt's doing a pretty good job of forcing the knees out, but the knees are coming forward a little bit at the bottom, and they're also coming in just a little bit. Okay, Quinn. Quinn wants to go home, so we're gonna have to go home in a minute here, but we're gonna finish out our squat workout. There's Robot, who always has good form. Robot has a little tendency to almost overarch the weights a little bit, but it's just his body type. He's very flexible. He's very flexible through his spine. So we're going to try to play around with a few different things, see what we can come up with for him. I think a big difference for him would be if he could carry the barbell a little bit lower. I think that would help him. Not sure what the weights are right here just yet, but you can see by my fat face it's getting pretty heavy. I actually think that was 700 actually. 700 plus 200 pounds of chains. I actually noticed on this day that my right knee doesn't go out as far as my left, which is kind of weird because it's my left hip that always hurts, but it's also my right knee that always hurts, so it kind of makes sense. I think to the lack of mobility and flexibility through the left side, I try to overcompensate and shift to that side. So we had Jim get a lot of shots from dead on to see if everyone's even. If you go back and watch this tape, check it out and see who's even, who's off a little bit. We try to get as centered as we could for most of these. This is 750 pounds. See, the form stayed intact and I was able to push through it. Robot, same thing. He's able to keep his form. Even though the weights are getting heavy, there may be some minor breakdowns here or there. You might round over a little bit. But you should be trained up enough to be able to handle that, to be able to handle a little bit of chaos. Things like good mornings, Zercher squats, stiff leg deadlifts. Any movements that suck will really help you get through that. Here's a little interview with Nick Matterson. That's it from supertraining.tv.